Dr. Jaffe, do you intend adding more test items to the your repertoire of LRA by ELISA testing? And if so, how often do you add items? Are there any new ones coming on board? I think one of our practitioners wants to know about this.
Well, yes, over the years, because we do purify our own antigens. We actually started with about 183, then we went up to 375 as the maximum that we could test for. Now it's over 500. We do need 2 ounces of specimen to do the most complete testing. Do we add antigens? Yes, we do. And when do we add them? When the literature, when our colleagues, when the science suggests it. So yes, we do not have a specific antigen that we're adding in the next few months that I want to alert you about, but I do want you to know that for many decades, if you want the most comprehensive of ex vivo and accurate and predictive and safer outcome results guided by our interpretations, I would suggest that you choose either limited or more comprehensive testing. We have many different suites of tests available. And yes, occasionally there's no longer a need to test for a certain item because we don't want to test for everything. If you tried to test for everything every time, it would take too much blood, too much cost, too much specimen, and not enough incremental value. If you say to me it's a basically acute situation and minimal health habit issues, limited testing might be enough. On the other hand, most people who are chronically unwell will do better in what we would call our professional or our comprehensive professional choice or choice plus. And if you have really challenging patients or you have clients who want the most information and the most detailed mapping of their immune defense and repair system and a program to restore their tolerance, that would be what we call comprehensive testing. So stay tuned. As there is a need, we will add antigens. We do, as I mentioned, purify all of our own. We have a novel microtiter plate that allows us to do an accurate cell culture, not an indirect measure. These are measurements with a meaning. Your body is speaking under the control conditions of the laboratory. And yes, the more detailed information you have, the more a complete map you have of that individual's immune responses, the more you can guide more effective care. And there are different kinds of cases, some short-term and minimal, and some long-term and chronic. And the longer the term, the more chronic the condition, the more multi-system the condition, the more autoimmune the condition, the more self-attacking the condition, the more my get up and go went somewhere and I can't find it. I would do more comprehensive testing. And I would test every 6 months, knowing that the body can improve at a certain rate. You don't have to test every month. But after 6 months, you should reset. Because people need time to recover from whatever brought them into your office. That's the first 6 months. And I would mention that this test is best repeated every 6 months until you're fully tolerant, until you have minimal reactions, if any. And one that I will leave you with, one that I've talked about on many occasions, was a friend of a friend, happened to have multiple sclerosis and be wheelchair bound, followed our advice, 6, 12, 18, 24 months. She sent me a postcard of herself rock climbing, not just out of a wheelchair, but being able to physically have the endurance to do rock climbing, which if you've ever done it, it's quite a bit of exercise. So yes, we have been very heartened by those who have been willing to follow our guidance. And yes, each person is individual, and so we go by results one at a time. But we do happen to have the most successful outcome studies, as well as the case reports, in this wide variety of conditions that impair the quality of life for too many people, and that we look at in a much more comprehensive upstream. Let's get to the causes, not just the symptom consequences. And that's what differentiates us from others.